Hello everyone, you are all welcome to lecture number 1162. Today's topic is human growth hormone drugs gaining popularity in the world. Means nowadays lot of artificial hormones are available, that is increasing your height, that is called human growth hormone. And as we know that naturally in our body one gland is there, that is called pituitary gland, and that pituitary gland is responsible of releasing one hormone, and that hormone is going to liver and from there to distributor, and it is increasing the bone mass and muscle mass, multiplying the cells and cartilage, and that's why the height gain is there. And if there is any problem in pituitary gland, then definitely the children will be drop or short in height. But nowadays there is boom of human growth hormone in the market in the form of injection, atropine, then growthropine. These are all produced in South Korean chemical industry known as GL Chemical Private Limited, and your GL company is well known, is one of the most dominant multinational multi-billion company in Nigeria and worldwide. Nowadays we are all aware of GL AC, Samsung, Galaxy, Kia, automobile. So South Korea is on top in many electronics, automobile and air conditioning items, and mostly they are produced by GL company. I am just giving this reference because of its industrial growth today, that is South Korea. And nowadays globally people are visiting South Korea for this treatment, that is growth hormone treatment to gain the height. So let me go by history. It's a very interesting history. I have gone through all the statistical data. Today when the research was done, it was found the case is different. Before they had this impression, it was only perception and impression, not scientific analysis, that the height gain is because of race. Some races genetically they are superior and they are having height up to 180, 185 centimeter, or we can say 5 feet 10 inches or 6 feet 2 inches height. But generally when the survey was done recently, in 1-2 years time, it is found that the Western countries, European, American, Netherlands, Sweden, Norway, in that area, people are taller. They have very good height as compared to the people who are in Asia and Africa, especially in Korean Peninsula like South Korea, North Korea, Japan, China, even including India, Bangladesh, Pakistan. In this area, generally, people are not, I'm talking of generally, maybe some few you will get, you can see with good height, maybe 6 feet or 5 feet 10 inches. But in general, the height is short. But according to latest research, within 200 years time, globally, there is increase in the height up to 3 inches. And when the research was conducted with all these countries, the reason is given only one, that is lifestyle and intake of protein. And you know, we are all building block of protein. So they found that in those countries where the population is on carbohydrate diets, they are not getting enough protein intake. That's why their height is generally short. and where they have protein based diet. There are only two type of diet globally. One is carbohydrate based diet, other one is protein based diet. So those people who are on protein based diet means they consume more protein rather than carbohydrate. Their height is more. And the reason they found is that when we are taking more carbohydrate, it is converted into glucose, more glucose as compared to protein. Because if you are taking more protein, the end product after all hydrolysis of protein is amino acid. When we are taking more carbohydrate, it means the end product after complete hydrolysis is glucose. And that glucose, when it is entering in our blood and in our liver, that is in excess. Once we are on carbohydrate diet, it is going to disturb our growth hormone, which are distributed from liver. And that sugar, if it is more sugar in the liver, it is going to disturb the IGI hormone, that is insulin growth or growth hormone, GHI. And that is the main reason that the carbohydrate based diet is toward the reduction of height. And come to the history of South Korea. South Korean, I'm talking of the height. The average height in South Korea, some 200 years ago, if you take the average height, South Korea, some 200 years ago, it was male 5 feet and female 4 feet, 4.14 like that, and 5 feet like that. And then there is addition of 3 inches globally because of the improvement of protein intake and lifestyle. So, and that was after 100 years, it was globally (2023) 3 inches are added. 3 inches increase of the height within this 200 years time. And today, 2023, the height of male is generally in South Korea is 5 feet and 7 inch, and female, that is 4 feet and 10 inches. That is the general average. And why this growth hormone therapy became very, very popular? It was after 2009. In the year 2009, in South Korean International Beauty Contest TV program, one student from South Korean University, she mentioned, and it throughout the Korea they were watching, that was very important program, and she mentioned that any male who is having height less than 180 centimeter, that is 180 centimeter means 5 feet and 10 inches, are not acceptable. They don't deserve the love or liking by the South Korean female. It was a big news in 2009, and lot of thousands of male they started demonstrating on the road for such type of, it was social stigma, such type of derogatory remark by the Korean female student that you are not eligible for matrimonial purpose, for marriage purpose, for liking purpose, for love purpose, once your height is less than 5 feet 10 inches. Now, from there onward, all these multinational companies, LG and some other domestic South Korean pharmaceutical companies, they jumped in and they started searching that how to synthesize the artificial hormone to increase the height of every South Korean up to 5 feet 10 inches or even more than that. And from there onward, it became multi-billion dollar company, and globally now 90% people, even from India also, India is very advanced in all pharmaceutical and surgery, and they have very special type of surgery that is limb heightening surgery, means by breaking the bone, enlarging it, and then your height will be increased. And also they have some synthetic hormones. So in Korea, to increase the height, 3 type of treatments are there. One treatment is by injecting artificial synthetic hormone, that is called growth hormone, starting from children from 6 year to 12 year. After 12 year, that injection is not given because that will not be effective to form the cartilage and to multiply in blockage, and so that they can by that cartilage, once the cartilage is formed like this cartilage, and this cartilage formation with spacing cartilage, and then finally it will be changed into solid hard bone. So this therapy, that is growth hormone therapy with the help of artificially manufactured growth hormone, is only limited from 6 year to 12 year. But now some are obese of the height. Nowadays the maximum people are mad to increase their height is in South Korea. Of course in other peninsula is there and globally it is there, but the madness is in South Korea. Every child is running. Even it is reported in all, the journals and papers I have gone through it. Children who are just 13 or 12 year old in their schools, there is always measurement. One girl is coming, a small child, female child, that mommy, I want to increase my height. Why? Because my height was only 153 inches, and my all friends, they have 160 inches. So I have to increase at least 6-7 inches. In every house, in most of the parents in urban area, the elite and prosperous people, they are very much concerned of the height of their son and daughter. And that is for son, for male, it should be 5 feet 10 inches. For female, it should be 5 feet 5 inches. And for that they are mad, so they go for this growth hormone therapy. And once they are in the age group of 25-30, that is not possible. And then they go, that is limb surgery, limb heightening surgery it is called, and they will break the bone, they will stitch it, they will pull the iron rod, and with that you will be hospitalized for up to 4 to 5 months. With that, a lot of mechanical rolling and everyday monitoring, you will be given some 2-3 inches height increase. So that is the thing what is happening. And now how South Korea has gained 6 inches, because now all other countries they gain 3 inches, but in South Korea by 2023 they have got the gain of 6 inches. So this is the double of today's average. And that double is because of the application of synthetic human growth hormone injected to children in the age group of 4 to 5. And some, they are going for that limb surgery by fracture of the bones. And the history goes like that. Why South Korean? They became very short in height, only 5 feet male and 4 feet female. The reason was that during World War II, there was division of Korea into North and South after a lot of fighting. North Korean, they wanted to get their own country, and millions of the Koreans were killed. And then after that, it was Soviet Union dominated that North Korea under Soviet supervision, South Korea under American supervision. So in South Korea, democracy was established. In North Korea, it was communist rule. Today, the same scenario is going on. So at that time in 1950s, South Korea was very, very poor. And hardly they could afford only rice. And the whole population was on rice. And because of that, it affected their height for many years, for centuries. It was stagnant. Then by 1985, 90s, because of industrialization and their growth, the South Korea is on top. If I am telling today, the GDP of South Korea is 47,000 US dollar. I mean the GDP means per capita income. Per person per annum is for South Korea 47,000 US dollar. India 7,000. And Nigeria 5,000 US dollar. And if I go by the GDP of South Korea is 2 trillion. And roughly it is 1.8 or something, it is round figure is 2 trillion. And then for India, it is 3 trillion. And Nigeria, 500 billion. The South Korean population is 50 million. Indian population is 1.4 billion. Nigerian population is 216 million. So you can see the prosperity. I'm just comparing these three countries. And all these three countries, they were in 50s means some 50, 60, 70 years ago, they were all carbohydrate based population in terms of their diet. All these three countries. But today, still Nigeria and India, the 60% population in India, they are carbohydrate based, vegetable based, that is called vegetarian. In Nigeria also is still carbohydrate based. And if I say carbohydrate based diet means high volume, low calorie. High volume, low calorie. So here what I am discussing, it is all the summary and abstract of many papers. So I have tried to just summarize it in 30-40 minutes time. So I was telling you that globally, worldwide, two group of populations are there. One is called carbohydrate based, diet. Other one is called protein diet. Means high volume and less calories. It is low volume and high calories. What I mean to say, in plate we are having high volume, and this high volume is rice and maybe some few pieces of protein and rest as gravy, some liquid, semi-liquid form. And here the volume is very less, sandwiches, and this is meat, that is animal meat, that is protein. So I mean, now it is very clear to you that globally two type of populations are there. Type means on the basis of their diet. One is taking lot of carbohydrate, rice, wheat, cassava, yam, like in Nigeria, like in India. And the other group, Western countries, Europe and America, they are taking lot of meat sandwiches, chicken sandwiches, and roasted beef, meat, chicken, roll, lot of. They are all nothing but protein. So there now in globally also they have identified two type of obesity. Abdominal obesity. In Indian language we call it tone. Where abdominal obesity means, if suppose obesity, that is abdominal obesity, and this is because of high volume. This is poor obesity, or we can say poor man's obesity. And here the obesity is starting from here. This area is more because of protein, and here this area less, means there is no deposition of any muscles, protein over this area once they are taking carbohydrate. But this obesity means here around your chest, shoulder, this area, lot of fat deposition is there, and here to abdominal the less fat is deposited. So two type of obesity is there, and by seeing a person you can understand whether he is consuming more protein or more carbohydrate. I can identify immediately, because in Asian and African countries 90% obesity is of poor diet, carbohydrate based, and that's why it is contributing to their height also. And in those research papers it is discussed that within this 200 years time the gain of 3 inches increase in the height globally, Nigeria and India has not benefited much because of their poor carbohydrate based diet. And I have already given you the explanation. Let me give you one example. If we are checking the per capita income of the best protein, and the best protein is egg protein. What is that? Egg protein. Egg protein is the best protein. If you take India, it is 90 eggs per annum per person per year. Nigeria, 70 eggs per annum per person. And South Korea, 300 eggs per annum per person, and it comes roughly 800,000 tons of only egg protein. That is 96% pure protein. So you can see the average of the consumption of egg protein. You can understand that why they are left behind in global increment of 3 inches height. Nigeria and India is left behind because of their high volume, low calorie food and because of poverty. I am very frankly in talking and take it gently because I am not telling something gossip. It is fact. All the data is available. Nowadays, everybody, I mean most of the people who are on internet, if they can go to Google search, all these data they can get. But of course, they will not get the research paper, all the data is available. It is because of purchasing power and poverty, still we are malnourished and still our height is not increasing unless we change our lifestyle, our food, our protein intake, and shifting from high volume to low volume protein diet rather than carbohydrate high volume diet. This is very clear picture. And after saying this, you can understand that India with 1.4 billion population, they are having 90 eggs per person per year. Here, egg for Nigeria is 70 eggs per person per year, and South Korea is having 300 eggs. You can compare. Like that, most of the European countries, American, Western countries, only I am taking the egg and you can compare with that. Their protein value, egg consumption, 10 times, 15 times more than poor countries like African countries, Asian countries, because they have purchasing power. Purchasing power means their currency is having purchasing power. What dollar or euro or pound, what they are getting, they can purchase 1 dozen, 2 dozen egg at a time within their currency, maybe in $2 or 1 pound. But here to get 1 dozen egg, we need 1,500 naira. And the salary of, in general, Nigerian salary is not more than 50,000. So because of deep poverty, we are, having such type of disadvantage. So I wish that in future, our Indian, Nigerian or African or Asian leadership should compare their populations, food intake, and supply of the protein, because protein plays very important role for children starting from the age of 4 to 19. All the growth, whether it is height or intellectual, hormonal, is all because of intake of the protein, which is very, very important. That's why I am recommending always, even in some of my lectures, I mention that I wish that in all schools in Nigeria, per child, 1 egg each day should be given, so that at least their intake of the pure protein is balanced. So that is what about the gaining of the height, and I'm going to write what are the injections are available, and from India also a lot of people are going for such type of treatment that is called growth hormone treatment to increase the height to South Korea. And I have given the history that why South Korea is on top, how from deep poverty it became industrialized, and now South Korea is on top in many industrial products with only 50 million population and $47,000 per capita income. India and Nigeria, they are having only 7,000 and 5,000. 10 times, 12 times more income in South Korea. I mean, there is no comparison of 47,000 and 5,000, 7,000 US dollar. And even in today, if I am talking, I have taken this data of 2021, what I am mentioning. If today I am taking where one US dollar is equal to 1,100 naira, it may be even 2,200, 2,300, like that. So that is very, very serious matter. But let me focus. Okay, I'm coming. So here I am showing anatomy of that is limb lengthening surgery, which is very, very common in South Korea. People who are interested to have their height to be increased, that is human growth, is done, and this is done to those people who are aged, where the artificial hormonal drug therapy is not possible. This is you have seen that the leg, it has undergone that limb heightening surgery, and where the legs were fractured, I mean bone were broken, and the iron is put inside, and there is some mechanical device, and every day they will come, I mean the surgeons, and they will twist and they will adjust massaging for at least 2 months, and after that it will take another 2 months for full recovery, and then they will gain 2-3 inches height. You can see here they have shown that how dwarf, we call in Kanuri or Hausa language Guntu or Gajere. So that dwarf Guntu and Gajere, that female, after that limb heightening surgery, she got good gain of the height and she looks normal. This is the male. He was having short height, less than 5 feet or 5 feet, and then after surgery he gained some 3-4 inches, and now he is normal. So this is only after that limb heightening surgery, which is very, very common in South Korea, and globally from all over the world people are coming to get such type of surgery. So here I will stop, because if I am continuing, time is not allowing, it will be more than 1 hour. It has become already 30 minutes. So I will continue this lecture, where I am going to discuss in the next lecture the treatment, those synthetic hormones, how they are synthesized by the different pharmaceutical industries. With this I will stop. Thank you very much for watching the lecture.